Happy Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. Welcome back to Weather on the Go. All your weather coverage, unseasonably warm temperatures, several storm systems with heavy rainfall and severe weather, and a tropical system here at the end of the video that we're going to talk about that needs attention. And we're going to talk about all of that in today's weather forecast. So subscribe to the channel. We're getting very close to 100,000 subscribers for the latest videos and live streams. Make sure to like the video down below as well. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll always get to those after the video. So unseasonably warm temperatures are the theme here as we go through the rest of this week. We have temperatures up especially into southeastern Canada, almost 30 degrees above normal for this time of year, and we are into the second half of September. That fishtails its way down into the Midwest, into the plains, especially the central and the southern plains. But at the same time, it's also much cooler across the desert Southwest than it is this time of year typically, and significantly so as well. That could be up to 25 degrees below normal for areas over here in California, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona through the weekend time frame. So this afternoon, high temperatures out west understandably will be cooler with the trough out there, but with the ridge of high pressure in place, we're going to see highs back into the 80s and the 90s this afternoon, all the way up into Canada and across the eastern U.S. That will continue. The heat will start to intensify a bit more as we go into Thursday afternoon into the 90s, 91 tomorrow afternoon in Des Moines, Iowa, 95 in Omaha, 95 in Kansas City, and 99, possibly even approaching the triple-digit mark there into the Dallas-Fort Worth area and places like Wichita Falls and even Waco, Texas, Thursday afternoon. And if we don't eclipse the triple digits on Thursday, more likely on Friday, as we could be peaking up to near 105 in some areas, especially into central Oklahoma, 103 in Tulsa, 102 in Oklahoma City, and 101 in the Wichita Falls region on Friday afternoon. Now, with all of this heat in place and the clash of the air masses, we have the cooler air out west, the warmer, more unstable air out east. When those air masses come together and collide, we're seeing some showers and storms that turn severe, and we did see a lot of that yesterday in the western plains and into the Rockies. We had 84 wind reports. Thankfully, though, no tornadoes were reported yesterday. But we have a strong, occluding low-pressure system today up across eastern Montana. Now, it is bringing beneficial rain, so that is some good news, but the cold front attached to it on the eastern side is capable of producing some stronger storms that will slide eastward as we go into the day on Thursday, and then further east toward Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, and the Great Lakes overall as we go into the day on Friday. So let's walk you through this. The Storm Prediction Center has laid out their day one outlook here. This is a slight risk, level 2 out of 5 in the yellow, from western Minnesota down into eastern South Dakota, northwest Iowa, and down into northeastern Nebraska. But overall, the severe weather threat extends all the way back just east of the Amarillo area into the Texas Panhandle today. Damaging winds and large hail by far is the biggest risk. That'll shift a little bit further east as we go into Thursday. Places like the Twin Cities, down into Des Moines, Kansas City, and even northwest of Oklahoma City Metro, we have that potential for severe weather on Thursday. Highest chance up here in the yellow, that's a level 2 out of 5 across eastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, and northern Iowa. And then so far for Friday, no severe weather outlooks, not even a marginal risk. So we have a level 0 out of 5, just your general garden variety type thunderstorms on Friday. Overall, rainfall amounts going through the rest of the work week. This leads up to Saturday morning on September 21st. You can see the heaviest of the rains, well needed though, across central Montana. Could be over 5 inches in some areas there, and then some sparse rain showers and storms across the upper Midwest. A couple lucky areas could see up to an inch of rain, but mainly we're seeing that up into northwest Wisconsin. And the drought continues to grow across the United States. We have multiple areas seeing moderate, severe, even extreme and exceptional drought here in the reds and maroon reds. That's where the worst of the drought conditions are. And you can see some of those areas will get some moisture into Montana as we go through the next 24, 48 hours. That's good news. Unfortunately, areas like West Texas or Ohio, West Virginia, not going to see much rain anytime soon to alleviate those significant drought concerns. And as we go into the weekend, the ridge of high pressure still locked in place across eastern Canada, still very unseasonably warm for this time of year across the eastern U.S. as well, and near normal to below normal with our temperature anomalies across the west. So this weekend, The heat wave persists across the east. The Ohio Valley on south toward the Gulf Coast, you can bet on the upper 80s to 90s as we go into Saturday afternoon. Cold front, though, across the northern U.S. will bring those temperatures down into the 50s and 60s with a nice fall-like air mass entering into southern Canada and the northern plains. And then as we go into Sunday, much more of that fall air mass overtaking the upper Midwest, the northern plains. Look at the temperature gradient here. We could be at 93 in Wichita, but on the northern side of Kansas, along the northern part of the state toward the Nebraska state line, barely getting into the 70s as we go into Sunday afternoon. So a strong cold front, and that has to do with our next storm system this weekend. So you're looking right now at your 500 millibar vorticity map, and this basically shows you where you have the mid-level spin in the atmosphere and where that low pressure system will be. We have that trough down here in the Four Corners region on Saturday. That'll lift up across the front range into eastern Colorado and into western Nebraska, the Panhandle region, as we go into Sunday. And this is a pretty strong low pressure system. Look at the upper air moisture that this is bringing in for the weekend, and this will be squeezed out like a sponge. So we're going to see some heavier rainfall, especially Saturday afternoon and then into Saturday night across portions of the Central Plains, from eastern Colorado through Nebraska, parts of Kansas, into western Iowa, and into Missouri here. Some of that rainfall could extend down into New Mexico and the northwest Texas Panhandle. And yes, you see blues on the map. The higher elevations right outside the Denver area in Colorado could be seeing some snowflakes out there Saturday night and into Sunday, and that could be a full-fledged snowstorm for the higher elevations in the Rockies in Colorado. Otherwise, very heavy rains, maybe some severe weather across the middle of the country into Nebraska, Kansas, western Iowa, and Missouri as we go into the day on Sunday. We're going to see some nice rainfall. There's no mistaking about that. We could see 1 to 3 inches of rain. Some isolated 6-inch totals at most will be possible there into central Nebraska this weekend. And that would be some good news to help out with that drought we were showing you. And like we mentioned, the snowfall maps, we're breaking them out for the first time this year on the Weather on the Go channel. And you can see, we could see up to 2 feet of snow in the higher elevations just outside the Denver area. So as you go up in elevation, those liquid raindrops will turn to frozen snowflakes as we go up in elevation there. So definitely starting to see the Rockies get in the action with the snowfall out there as well. Turning over to the tropical weather update, we are finally into the second half of the hurricane season climatologically as we're starting to climb down the ladder now, but we are seeing the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, indicating an area we need to watch in the Western Caribbean or the far southern Gulf of Mexico. Has a 20% chance for now, but I think this number will grow significantly in the next few days, and here's the evidence of that. We have very favorable sea surface temperatures here. We have really warm waters into the Western Caribbean, near Jamaica, just south and near the Cuba there, and into the southern Gulf of Mexico. And when combined with that, the Central American gyre will start to be very active. And basically what that means is we're going to have a lot of spin around Central America. So we could start to actually see that on the ensemble models. This is the European ensemble guidance, the EPS ensemble, and you can see low pressure developing on this member across portions of the Yucatan next week. The GEFS ensemble members also very favorable there in the Western Caribbean, and the GEPS ensemble members very much in the same ballpark. So we definitely have to watch this next week. We may have a tropical system to watch, especially if you're in Florida, the southeast coast, the Gulf Coast of the United States. We want to be on high alert as we go into next week. No need to panic. There's a lot of uncertainty here with the strength of the system, the track of the system, and what the system will bring to the table. But for right now, what we're going to note is that the ensembles are on board with this, and we're going to continue to watch this through the rest of the week and into the weekend and give you more information as we do get more of the information here and pass it along to you. So make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for the latest weather information, the latest videos, live streams. Turn on all post notifications for those. Make sure to give the video a like down below by a thumbs up. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll always get to those after the video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday out there.